Hey everybody, welcome. So tonight we're going to start with the following question. Where can I find gold? Pretty simple question. But the more important thing to ask is why can I find gold? Why? And maybe why not? But why is always the root cause that allows you to learn from what's going on. So let's take a look. You know, we're thinking about all these things we've been talking about for the last few weeks. We're going on almost a month now. And you know, we come up with these ideas of gold and whether you can find it, and gold is where you can find it. I thought I'd bring your attention to something. You know, we have a community that's starting to develop, and I had pretty early in the game been given a picture or two of someone's gold finds, and I thought I'd present them. You know, this is pretty cool stuff. Basically, what we're looking at here is a, you know, simple nugget, but not so simple. And that is, you can see this thing's been wedged into something really rocky. Well, yes, it was stuck in the bottom of this creek bed right here. So you can see this gold nugget wedged between these two boulder cobbles, you know, and the idea is how to get there and what made the properties that it has the things that will allow you to find it, as this person has certainly done. And so it's important to, and I will put their name in the comments. I'm a little lame in putting this together tonight. I forgot the name. And so I want to make sure that I give them credit, so it'll be in the comments below. Put your comments in about this. I think it's a really cool find. If you think about it, it's certainly a nugget worth finding. That's a pretty big piece there. And you can see the size of it, you know, but you know, it's just wedged into between those rocks. Now, if you had uncovered that while you're dredging, or in this case, they were actually sniping, which is something you can do with a gold pan and a special pry bar. So you want to be able to do that kind of stuff on a regular basis. So tonight I thought I'd take a little segue from what we've been doing, you know, where I do the presentation all night. And I'm going to show you a little video presentation, video clip that I have on this very topic of where can I find gold and why. I think it illustrates a little bit of what we have going on, and I just wanted to kind of spend time going over that. What I'm going to need to know, and I'm going to go to my handy dandy cell phone again and look for your comments, but I need to know if you're hearing the audio correctly, because this is going to be an experimental evening. We do that on a regular basis here at Hunting for Gold. We experiment, and the reason why you do that is to fail. Now, the reason you want to fail is to learn. Why do you want to learn? So you can succeed. You see how that went? First thing I do is experiment. I stub my toe. I learn not to stub my toe. I can run. Well, sort of. So in this case, I can find gold. And that's what we're here about. So I wanted to kind of give you a chance to give me some feedback while I'm doing this presentation. And so I am going to go to the live. I'm on the channel right now looking at it. There's 13 people watching. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Prospector Jess, huntingforgold.com, as you can see down below. A topic over there is where can I find gold? So it's always backwards on my screen versus the video versus, you know, the world. So it's fun doing these things because I never know where I'm going to be pointing. I could be pointing, you know, well, I can point down real well and up. So maybe I should just point up a lot. Up there, you'll see our topic. Down there, you'll see who we are. I am Prospector Jess, and I'm your host here at huntingforgold.com and the Hunting for Gold Facebook page. And you can join me on YouTube by subscribing to Prospector Jess. That's Prospector, Jess. Okay, so find me and subscribe. We take these videos and other videos. There's a bunch of good videos up there already from long ago and far away, and some more intermediate like last fall that aren't here on Facebook. So you'll want to go over and find those and subscribe so that you can get new ones when I post them or when I go live on YouTube. Okay, so you too can join me. I got this thing going right now, and I'm trying to, I think I just messed up my phone. All I was trying to do is turn the volume down, and I succeeded at dumping myself out. Murphy lives. If you've ever heard of Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong. So it just did it once again. Pardon me, I'm back on the page now. And what I'm going to do is open this guy up and look at the comments. Now let me turn the volume off because I don't need the volume. I just need to see your comments as they're coming in. Hey, Charles. Charles is watching me. We're going to have 45, minus 45. Is that a minus sign? Yeah, it wouldn't be 45 degrees. Whoa, that is cold. He's up there in Montana, you know, cold country, just next to the Canadians, which is next to the Arcticans. So, wow, that's amazing. I'll pass. I think we're going to hit maybe 45 tonight here, plus 45 as opposed to minus 45. 90-degree difference. That certainly shatter something. There's M.A. Gray. Howdy from Florida, he says. Great. Great to have you on. So right now, let's segue. I'm going to take you over to the movie theater, and we're going to try something here. I need you to chime in right away and tell me if you can hear me okay, or if there's double sounding or any kind of funny echo properties. What I'm going to be doing is turning off my microphone so that nothing comes through it, and I'm going to be leaving on a audio system, system-wide sound. I'm hoping you're not hearing. Are you hearing me okay right now? Let me know. Joe is there. I mean, John's there. Richard is there from Texas. Awesome. I talked to Ron earlier tonight from Texas. He's been a long-standing fan, going back to 2014 or so, or 13. Great, interesting discussion with him about going into the field and taking what I've taught and applying it, and how the people that he went to go to with gold prospecting didn't have the knowledge that he has now from learning from me. So it was kind of an interesting discussion. And that's our goal here at Hunting for Gold, is to help you find more gold. So, sound good? Charles says, let's roll. So we're going to switch me off. You'll see me talking without any sound like this. So I'm going to present it right here on this screen, and bear with me, we're going over here. I just wanted to turn my sound off, make sure that all works. It's just helping me figure out what way is up, because we're trying to do some new things here today. And I think it's going to work. So let's go to the show. How you can discover gold fast. Why so many miss the gold. Hi, this is Prospector Jess from huntingforgold.com. Where's the gold? The most commonly asked question over last year or more has been, where can I find gold? This is also the most misunderstood problem of gold prospecting. Where's the gold? 4 things to know. To find gold, you need to understand why more than where. Let's take a look at the 4 things you can do to find more gold. Where's the gold? 4 things to know. 1. Research off-site. That's preparation before you ever go out into the gold fields. 2. An on-site survey right when you arrive. Prepare yourself to understand what the clues are on your site and what it tells you in concert with what your research told you. 3. Build a gold map out of these clues. Put it together. Start to put together the puzzle that tells you where the gold is and where it is leading you. To help with this, it really is important to begin participation in a gold community. If you don't belong to one, you should, because it will help you immensely in putting together 1, 2, and 3. Some of the Q&As you sent gave me some insight into what people really want out of such a community. Let's take a look. So you remember the question I asked last week, why have a gold prospecting group or association? So far we've received 10 responses on the site itself. Even though we asked for email feedback, we got it on the site, which is really cool. One of the things I thought I'd show you is a bit of what kinds of responses we were getting. I won't go so much into the article. You can read it on sourdoughminer.com. We talked about community and what it means to have one, what the value is. First question is, what is your most pressing issue regarding a gold prospecting group? Second question is, what is your greatest fear about a gold prospecting group? Third question is, what is your dream regarding a gold prospecting group? You can see we got quite a few comments. It's kind of fun to see what people had to say. A lot of concern about how groups are run and what their goals are, how groups manage the lively nature of interaction, and the concerns about what the groups actually focus on and what the value is to an individual. A lot of people want the help of a group, but they also want to make sure the group stays focused on gold prospecting and doesn't wander off on all kinds of other topics. It's a good question and it's a good response. So thank you for your inputs, and we'll let it go at that for now. So where's the gold? 4 things you should know. 1. Research off-site. 2. Site survey clues on-site. 3. Build a gold map and put it all together, and know how to do this from experience. Experience that you can build on or augment through participation in a gold community. Number 4. The top 4 questions to answer about research. That number 1 question. Where, when, and what? Along with how much gold was found. So in your gold research, begin by asking where and when it was found, what are the recorded clues, and just how much gold was produced and what was its quality. Build yourself some maps. These are maps using the USGS, MRDS, a pencil and paper, documents from the library, etc. But put them together and get some idea of what you're getting into before you ever go to the field. Choose where you go based on what will likely be there. Also know how the locations on the USGS, MRDS relate to where the gold will eventually reside by the erosion and effects of water movement, because the gold won't be oftentimes where it's shown on the diagram. It's going to be downhill or downstream from those locations, and you need to know that and know what it means. To start with, just Google it. Look for phrases like find gold, gold prospecting, gold minerals, mining claims, etc. And add the extra phrase saying find gold in Columbia, California, or find gold in Quartzsite, Arizona, and look for that, or near. And look for the phrases that basically will give you a pool of research sites to go look at that you can pick from. Once you find places with interesting information, bookmark them. Collect together those bookmarks into collections. That's going to become a major resource for you in the future. Also, learn to use special tools, Google tools such as Google Earth, etc. And use Bing and other search engines such as Yahoo, because they have different resources. Google doesn't know everything, even though the NSA thinks it should. It's important for you to know that other tools might reveal special information that isn't there or isn't as easy to see or find. Bing is great when it comes to photographs and other kinds of research. Gold info sources, etc. So let's look at some special ones. The USGS MRDS, that's a mouthful. That stands for United States Geological Survey Mineral Resources Data System. That's a big system that has information on all kinds of gold finds all the way back into the 1800s and all over the world. So it's important to use that tool along with BLM resources that are equivalent, like the LR2000. But what you want to be able to do is use those tools to isolate where gold was found, where claims exist, etc. Use mindat.org. That's a great resource for looking at minerals and rocks and trying to identify what you're holding in your hand and whether or not it has any kind of relevance to the values you seek. Local resources such as a records office at the local county courthouse, gold prospectors who have clubs in the area, etc. Taking a look at Mindac, you can just search for gold on it and you come up with these pictures. Isn't that gorgeous stuff? That's crystalline gold. Very, very cool samples, and those would be extremely valuable if you found them. Gold is part of the copper group. That means it basically alloys with things that copper alloys with. That's something important to know about and know what it means, because, for example, if you found chalcopyrite, it may well have a mixture of gold and copper in it, not just copper and not just pyrite. It's not all fool's gold after all. Gold and info resources, etc. So there are international resources. The MRDS has some of that, but there's also other resources that you can find in clubs that are accessible internationally. You also want to be participating in identifying clubs and groups throughout the world. Find online forums. Some are good, some are not so good, but get involved in those that have good resources and good administrative people who know what they're doing and are willing to, control the, shall we say, actions of unsavory folks who might be online as well. Because there are problems that can occur, and you want to make sure that you're not party to that or not taken by some of that. It's important. For example, you might want to take advantage of locally looking at Joe's Bar and Grill. Just go down to the local people and start chatting it up. There's oftentimes good, stealthy information that can be learned and intelligence that can be gathered about gold in the area by listening carefully to people talk about their experiences for the day. But always take it with a grain of salt and always be observant. After all, you don't know from local intelligence with caveats. You have to ask yourself, is Joe sober? Does Joe know what he's doing? And so forth. A site survey. What you need to look for. So you have to be ready and prepared to know what to look for, and why to sample and where to sample and how to do it efficiently and effectively so that you can speed through, and why you should survey first and fast so that you get through your area quickly and identify where the gold will likely be. Again, the site survey should contain your map and your journal results, what you're finding in your samples and what you're finding in identifying the geology and the topology of the area, what you should be mapping, how to sample and what to put on the map from that sample. Connect the dots. Between topology, hydrology, geology, and your gold samples, you're putting together a picture that tells you something really valuable. Connect the dots. Gold travels in particular ways defined by physics. Know a little bit about that physics and you know where gold will travel to. Gravity and gold have a special relationship. You really need to know that one cold. You need to be able to look at a picture like this one with this river running through it and know specifically what it says about the water flow and how gravity and gold interact with that water flow to push gold in a particular place. What do these simple maps show you when you place your gold on the maps? What are they telling you about the gold lead and what to do for mining and recovery and efficiency and cost savings and time savings? Connect the dots. Putting the gold resources together with topo maps showing your gold trails leading you to where the gold is. After all, that stuff in that pan is what you're looking for, isn't it? The hydrogeomorphology of a region. That's a fancy word that stands for water, earth, and shapes. How those play a role in understanding the actual formation and shape of a gold trap. What makes gold concentrate and where you can identify where it concentrates based on the shapes of things around. Why a gold community? You need a gold community to make your prospecting connections, to boost your knowledge and understanding of those things we've been talking about. How do you find out about those issues that affect how you map things and how to identify the shapes and formations of things and what a rock is and what I should do about it and where to go find? All these really require a community. It requires interacting with other people who can share their knowledge, because after all, a group of people has a lot more power and strength than an individual. So you want to form prospecting connections, which brings up my question. What's a GDU anyway? So what did you think? Did that give you some ideas and some thoughts about how you're approaching gold prospecting and how gold concentrates and where you'll find it? Go back to the same thing over there. Point in the wrong direction and it goes in the right way. But I just wanted to give that to you. I was thinking of what we've been covering. I thought, this is a pretty logical transition. Really looking close at the why things do what they do and the physics behind it, as well as being able to rely on one another. One of the cool things that happened this week is a couple of you guys chimed in and found out you're not too far apart, and this weekend or in the next they're going to go out on a venture together, and that's exactly what you want to be doing. Find people who are like-minded and are in the process of learning. It's not always a good thing to be the same level, but it doesn't hurt. The main thing is that you kind of have the willingness to learn, because that's what makes the difference in all of this stuff. Is, are you willing to get out there and try, fail a little bit, stub your toes, pick yourself up, try again, learn, be successful at finding gold. So that's what tonight's about. I think that's about it. I had, let's see if I have one more thing here. Oh, boy. Again, sourdoughminer.com, GDU, which stands for Gold Diggers Underground, if you're interested. That's where you go find it, and you can find more. We'll be talking about this more over time. I just thought I'd introduce you to it tonight. I think it's the first time we mentioned it on this show. We are getting feedback from a bunch of people who are involved in the GDU that they're really excited about these broadcasts, and that's cool. I love it. That makes me feel great. And I think it's one of those things we have to all kind of buckle up and get ready to go, find out what we know about rocks and minerals. We've talked about that quite a bit in the last week, and where the rocks and minerals lead you to. I have other things as well, rocks and minerals. Some of my other videos about the topic, gold, rocks, and minerals, what rocks and minerals tell you about gold clues. But that is kind of the theme of what we're doing here, and we're just walking through it. Some of it, these things are typically more detailed than I give on the show. I try to hop and skip through the material to make it a little more lively and a little faster to understand. But to apply it, you probably need to have a little more detail. A lot of that's available inside the GDU as a member. And that's it for tonight. Good prospecting. Prospector Jess, over and out. Let me know if there's anything else you want in the questions. I see we have a number of people. Danny Young's back here from California. He needs more time on the hunt. You bet. We all do. Isn't that the truth? Let's see. So we have great content, Richard Foreman, and so forth. So I put a link in there. If somebody would type in that link into the comments area, I would appreciate that. That just helps Facebook and helps us all be able to find it. I put it in there, but if somebody else puts it in there, then people will find it as these comments fly by. It's one of those problems that the links that are in there right now, I think there's one live one, it would be just above or just below this video placement, depending upon whether you're looking on your phone or you're looking on your desktop. And so it helps to have you put it in the comments too, because those become clickable links as time goes on, and they show up at the end of the video or at the beginning, depending upon what happens. So that's it for tonight. Good prospecting. Prospector Jess, over and out. Tomorrow. See you then.